Glenn Clark Radio, talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuff and things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio. Duke sucks.
And Basallo shoots it into left field down the line. Here comes Pham, and the ball drops foul. I may be wrong. If you dive and the ball lands fair, and I think it did.
Oh, that's a fair ball.
I don't think he's going to pop up and get Gunner anyway, but this ball hit the glove. That's on the chalk.
After review, the call on the field is overturned. It is a fair ball. Archery scores.
Hey, how about it? The most exciting, what a weird,
Cardiac birds.
Orioles win, Orioles win. Hooray, hooray, hooray. All they do is walk off now. Remember when we were going to bet that they couldn't get a walk-off for the rest of the season? Remember when that was a Would You Rather Wednesday scenario? Now all they do is win in walk-off fashion. Good morning. It is a Would You Rather Wednesday edition of Glenn Clark Radio. I'm Glenn. He's Griffin, and it's good to have him back this morning. Drew Forrester is... The show is 1 hour long now.
Sure he's on his way.
1 hour long. And we have guests. Like, what? I mean, at this point, have we talked to him about, like, there's a chance we're moving the show to another place, another format, and, like, I'm going to have to start doing it. I'm going to have to start, and this is a straight shoot.
I don't think we can change Drew.
If we do that, we're locking the door. I'm not kidding.
Should we lock this door or should we lock
I'm not kidding. Like, we're going to lock the door. If you can be here, great. If you can't, we're locking the door. We're not doing the bit where you're, I'm here now. We're not doing it. Today's show is brought to you by Game Day Men's Health in Owings Mills, Frederick, and Columbia. 443-264-4454 for Owings Mills. 443-266-3505 for Columbia. 240-931-3717 for Frederick. Look, man, I've been telling you about Game Day Men's Health and what it's done for me. It's straight shoot. I've been taking these peptide proteins, and I can tell every morning when I wake up the impact that they're having. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's a miracle drug or I feel like I'm 20 or I don't feel as sluggish and as run down as I had been feeling before I started taking the peptide proteins when I thought I was low T. Now, you might be low T. If you're a man of a certain age, that's very possible. In fact, they'll tell you don't even have to be that age. You could be a few years ahead of that age. It happens sometimes, but it's more frequent when you're of a certain age. So get your complimentary testosterone test. You can also go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com and find out more there. Just find out. Talk to them. The one thing I would say is, like, I use the word safe space. You go to a doctor's office, it's a very sterile environment. You don't want to be there. It's not like that at Game Day Men's Health. In fact, I'm going to have them give us a tour in the next couple weeks of the facility so you know what you're dealing with and why it's just much more pleasant than going to your typical doctor's office. Have the conversation. Maybe it's for you. Maybe it's not. I don't know. I'm not in your shoes. But you also might be dealing with performance issues in the bedroom, ED. Maybe you're dealing with stubborn belly fat that just won't go away. These are things that impact men once they reach a certain age that, like, we don't like talking about. We just kind of want to pretend it doesn't exist. Like, I'm fine. And we're not. Game Day Men's Health. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Chris Broussard will join us in a few minutes. We'll talk more about the Ravens with him. later on in the show. Jon Miller, the legend Jon Miller. He was back in town for the Cal Ripken celebration this weekend, and it was just good to have Jon Miller back doing some formal things with the Orioles. So we'll talk to him about all of that. And also Ed Hottle, Stevenson football coach, will join us as they get ready for the start of, well, actually, they played their first game over the weekend. They played their first home game this Saturday. Hail. Dietrich Enns was man of the match. We don't do the board anymore because we got the new board up with slaps to the helmet, which you can tell it looks good, right? Like, I can tell the time that went into that. That board is looking good, man. Like,
Well, it's still baseball season, so
it is definitely.
I don't want to
not.
be disrespectful to the baseball.
Definitely not.
Are the Orioles eliminated?
A blank space on that wall.
Are the Orioles eliminated?
Somebody asked me that. I said, "What did you think about leaving the board up?" I was like, "No," because then that would be an excuse to not get the new board up. But apparently, having nothing on the wall is just as good. No difference. We're okay just having cracks in the wall. Can you see that on the screen?
No. What cracks in the wall are you talking about?
The cracks in the wall. I think I was guilty of the cracks in the wall, if I remember correctly. I didn't know how to take the rumble strips down, I think was the story there. One time when we had guests coming in to use the studio. So I might be responsible for that. But we'll get that new board up just in time for Christmas, I would say. Just in time is when we'll make that happen. Dietrich Enns comes in.
Steals a man of the match from, I guess, Kyle Bradish.
Yeah, it's a bummer because Kyle Bradish was great. But you come in, you get a ghost runner inherited in 2 different innings, and you strand both of them. Yeah, man. That's going to work. And, Dietrich Enns, Rico Garcia continue to be like the 2 guys from this group that have sort of stood out. The bummer is you can – anytime – I would say Yennier Cano has gone into Dean Kramer territory now, where you're going to talk yourself into it at some point, and you're going to be disappointed. Like, over the last few weeks, we had talked ourselves back into Yennier Cano, and inevitably it just feels like, and I get it, every reliever has moments like this, but I am not putting Yennier Cano in the group of knowns going into net. He is not in a known. He's an option. He's a guy that they could turn to if they have to next year because of injury, but I am not making any plans around Yennier Cano. In the offseason, I am going out and getting a boatload of leverage relievers, and Yennier Cano can go to spring training, and if there's injuries, and then you gotta have him. But he is not in my plans in the back end of the bullpen if I'm serious about trying to win a World Series next year. And that's obviously the context for all of this is how serious are you? Richard Nixon wandering into the studio here 6 minutes late when we only have an hour of a show to do and we have multiple guests scheduled. There you go.
I am not a crook.
Who are you?
What is the Richard Nixon? Why? Why is that what you came
American hero.
Is he?
Well, he was. I think he's dead now.
Wait.
I think.
He's definitely dead.
Should we play the game? Okay.
No, he's definitely dead.
I am not a crook.
But it's the part where you call him an American hero that I'm a little bit... I mean,
he was the president of the country.
That part is true.
We've had a great run on him here lately.
I don't think we've missed.
Yeah, the voters haven't.
To be fair,
I'm not a crook.
We did set up that this is what we're looking for in a president, I guess.
You know who called him, by the way? Forrest Gump. Did you know that?
Didn't he have the boat car? That was.
Hello.
Right, well, it was a fun show. It was good to see everybody.
There's somebody up here in room 2420, and they got their lights on. They got flashlights.
What's going on with you?
You would have
I can't wait for the season to start Sunday.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it? That would be good.
Oh, man. Not much. Yeah. Just still recovering.
Yeah, still.
Oh, man.
How can you still be recovered? This is what they do.
It's kind of
right. It's almost like a warm blanket.
Yes, it kind of is what they do.
Yes.
And you know what's funny is somebody pointed this out the other day. I mean, I have like 3 or 4 different teams that I say this for. You know, we always say, you're like last year when the Lions got run out of the gym by the almost said the Redskins, Commanders. You said, well, the Lions are going to Lions, right? I mean, like that's what the Lions do. They had it all set up for them. paved to the Super Bowl, and they got beat. And then we always say, well, the Browns are going to Browns, right? They're always going to figure out some way. Hey, Bengals are going to Bengals. We're not that far away from Ravens are going to Ravens. I mean, we're really not.
In these, well, okay, but in two specific circumstances, right? Like the specific circumstances
Buffalo
being, well, I was going to say the playoffs or a 2-score lead with 5 minutes.
But I mean, Buffalo's been like a chamber of horrors, right? Lamar had laid an egg that one year in the playoffs, and we got clobbered when it was 10 degrees.
I was going to say, I don't know if Lamar laid an egg.
He did.
The interception wasn't great.
He laid an egg. They scored 3 points. Then last January and now Sunday, like Buffalo has become the place where we don't want to go. And what are the odds we're going back there in January?
It doesn't look like you're going to be able to do it without that. I get
Right,
it. Although, to be fair, again, the Bills lost here last year and probably thought, well, now we have to go to Baltimore in the playoffs.
Not only lost, but got absolutely
they got
annihilated.
destroyed.
Was
They
it
ended up
35 to
hosting in the
10 or
playoffs
something?
anyway. So
right.
Like we say these things, and I get it. Like that's
But
the
that
way
one
it
on
feels
Sunday, I will say, trying not to be, overly dramatic or that was disturbing Sunday.
Why was this uniquely disturbing?
Because they had 3 or 4 different occasions to put the game away. There was never really a moment ever when it looked like they were going to throw up on themselves until they did. Like this thing could have been put away, salted away 3 or 4 different times, and every time they were a drive away from salting it away, they couldn't do it. And here's what I would say is the most disturbing to me. I was talking to somebody about this yesterday. This always seems to involve someone else. There's always a new star, right? Obviously, last year Lamar got the ball knocked out of his hand, and then Andrews had his fiasco. Lamar was unbelievable the other night, and then it was Derrick Henry's turn. Like if you said to me, dude, I saw the script, by the way, you're not going to believe it. Derrick Henry fumbles the ball at the end of the game and helps us lose.
No way, right?
I would say it's got to be somebody else, right? It's got to be Justice Hill. Is he still on the team, by the way?
No, he is. Yes.
Yeah, it's got to be someone else. Like it's always someone new. So that's also what bothers me is like no one seems to be. No one seems to be above being the GOAT, and I don't mean Tom Brady.
Right.
Like that's also what bothers me. Like next time they play, it'll be Zay Flowers who drops the ball in the end zone with 14 seconds left.
In the Kansas City game.
Right. So it just, I don't know, man. That one the other night for all of the hyperbole about worst losses ever, John on the hot seat and all that, and I wrote this yesterday, maybe for the first time. I don't know. I really do think John is on. I think if this happens again to them in week 12 and they finish, 12-5 and they lose to, insert team here, Bengals in the first round of the playoffs, I think John might be done. Because I don't think you can ignore that this keeps happening.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm not sure that is because of this specifically.
No, but you can't keep
these
doing
only
this.
Matter as much as what happens at the end of the season.
And here's the other thing. This is where I don't know. This is where I think people in general, and I'm careful of how I say this because I don't really want to offend anyone when I say this, but people get overly offended by this. So here goes. People think they know exactly what goes on, and people really have no effing clue what goes on.
Sure.
They think they know. John should have told Monken, give the ball to Derrick Henry 3 times. Maybe John did.
Right.
John should have told Monken, you give the ball to Lamar 3 times and get a first down. Maybe John did. John should have gone for it on 4th and 3. Maybe Lamar said, hey, I don't know if this is the right time. Or maybe Lamar said, hey, why don't we try this on this play? And John said, sure, go ahead. And Lamar did it, and they didn't get the first down. You don't know what goes on. Everyone acts like they know exactly what's going on. Well, John had a chance at the end there to give Lamar the ball. Maybe John said, Lamar, run with the ball here, and Lamar threw the freaking thing. I don't know. But people do that all the time. They always talk like they know exactly what went on. John should have told Monken. Maybe he did tell Monken. And maybe Monken gave the ball to Derrick Henry, and Derrick Henry fumbled. And again, if the exact same thing happened, and this drives me up the wall, if the identical thing happened in Baltimore and Marlon Humphrey punched that ball out of the running back's hands for Buffalo,
Right,
we
yes,
would
you'd
be
praise
sending Marlon Humphrey
Humphrey,
to the Pro
Well,
Bowl.
I understand that. And look, Ed Oliver
So-
had an amazing night on Sunday night and made a hell of a play.
And dude, this kid at quarterback for them is
yes, he's incredible.
insanely
There's-
good.
All of those things are true. It still doesn't.
And I'm not excusing John. I'm probably I'm on John more now after that than I probably have ever been. Honestly, you just can't keep doing this and expect to kind of get out of it unscathed. You can't. You squandered a 15-point lead 2 times, including once with 4 minutes to go, when there was no possible way they could lose.
I think that's the reality. Is that
It's like what happened on Saturday night at the baseball game.
It doesn't matter anymore how it's happening or why it's
Correct.
happening. It kind of doesn't.
Even though you're right, I'm going to agree with you. Even though it should, it doesn't because it's happened 17 times. If it happened 6 times, then how it happened might matter.
And some of those numbers, it's nonsense. Like that, we're trying to talk about like what happened in the 2011.
Yeah, I mean, who
Ravens,
cares?
as if it
Right.
has anything to do
Right.
with what's happening to this
But in the
year's
last
team.
3 years,
Yeah,
it matters.
It matters. And again,
Right.
it's easy for John to
Well,
say.
I would say this. Maybe in the Lamar, I don't even know when really we count the Lamar era. I guess we do, starting in 19 when he played the full year. But in the Lamar era, they count. Now, the argument's going to be the other night, well, it's not Lamar's fault the defense gave up 41 points. Right. And the counter to that is Lamar had 3 series to salt the game away, and he didn't do it. I mean, he didn't. Like,
yeah, but
I know they scored 40 points.
But again, one of those is his running back fumbled the ball.
I understand.
So it's not.
I do understand.
But all of it's been Lamar in other games. It's been
sure.
Everyone's to the point had a part in it, and yes, the part where it keeps happening matters, but only as much as whatever happens moving forward. Like, it's one thing for us to say, well, John's got to have culpability for this, but that's not today. Like, that's not the way that this works. This matters as much as however it plays out the rest of the way. And
yeah, I mean, they just can't have it happen again. Like, they just can't have it happen again.
Or if it happens again, you better win the Super Bowl. Like, I don't really care. If you lose 5 games this year in which you had 10-point leads with 3 minutes to play and you win the Super Bowl, I don't give a rat's ass.
Okay.
I don't.
But that's like you saying if I get to date Jennifer Aniston.
No, it's not like that. Because
It
this
is.
good
They're not
teams.
winning the Super Bowl. I know what you're doing, but they're not winning the Super Bowl if they continue to throw up on themselves like this. So they're not winning the Super Bowl. So you can keep saying that all you want.
Probably
But they're
not,
not winning the Super Bowl like that. But I know what you're getting at.
But the
Nothing
2012
matters
team
except
was no good. The 2012 team stunk, and then they won a Super Bowl. You win Super Bowls
get
all
it.
sorts of ways.
I get it. But they're not. And I know what you're trying to say, so I'm not really arguing with you. But they're not going to keep giving away these leads and then go on to win the Super Bowl. It's problematic. There's something wrong with them. They have a virus.
I don't care.
You're familiar with that.
Yeah, I had a few.
Yeah,
I don't really care what they do in the. This will matter. This matters incredibly today.
I just
because
think
it's
if
what
it
we have in
happens
front of
again,
us.
I think if it I just think it's the straw that broke the camel's back. I think John is close, man. I really do, and I know how fond I am of him. He's got to wiggle out of this somehow, and if it happens again or happens in December when it matters, I think he's in trouble. I don't care if it's his fault or not.
Let's get someone else's opinion about this subject. This man, maybe not as emotional about his Ravens. His Ravens fan.
Yeah, because he didn't bet the game like the rest of us.
It was kind of started as he was a troll, but now he's a Ravens fan. Of course, you see him on FS1 every day. He is our buddy Chris Broussard, and he is back with us now here on GCR. Chris, it's Glenn and Drew in Baltimore. What the hell is going on, man? How the hell do we what do we do about this?
Well, look, I agree that if they don't fix this, they're not – forget winning the Super Bowl. They're not getting there. Now, they look like the best team in the league. I think they have the best roster in the league. They've got probably the best quarterback, running back tandem in the history of the league. And I know that's saying a lot, and they have to win a Super Bowl to kind of validate that. But I think those two are the best quarterback running back duo ever. They got a good passing. They have everything, but they keep doing this, and they do it against good teams. They do it against bad teams. Remember last year, week 2, they did it against the Raiders. They've done it in the past against Cleveland, who they obviously better not do it against this week coming up. They've done it against Miami. I mean, it is a severe problem for them. But I think it's the worst in the big games because, in the big moments. So I think one of the silver linings to this is that they've got 3 more big games, like huge games this year against elite teams, and that's Detroit, Kansas City, and Green Bay. They might not win all 3 of them, but if they get a lead on these teams, they've got to hold it and play well in the fourth quarter. And I think doing that could kind of break, I don't know if it's a psychological thing or what, but it could be a mental break for them where they finally get past their fourth quarter problems.
I don't have a word about the NFC games. Lamar Jackson owns the NFC, but I know exactly what you're saying, Chris.
Well, and remember against Dallas last year, when they were 0-2,
right.
Absolutely needed a win, up 21-3 going into the fourth, and then almost lose the game.
Chris,
I forgot all about that one. Let me beat up. Let me beat them up some more for that.
There's the games they lose, and then there's the ones they almost lose because of this exasperating problem they have.
Well, here's the thing I just said to Glenn. Like, what bothers me is it's somebody different every single time. If it were someone constant, we'd just get rid of them.
Right.
Well, but
and in a lot of cases, it's your best players. Obviously, Derrick Henry. Now, Henry, I give him credit for falling on the sword. That's what you're supposed to do. But he made a mistake, but I'm not killing him because obviously he was tremendous throughout the game. But Mark Andrews, obviously, against Buffalo. Lamar, to some degree, against Buffalo with the fumble. That was just unforced. So their best players have done it. You can't point the finger at one guy. But I don't know. I mean, look, the guy that you have to blame most is John Harbaugh. I hear you guys saying even if it's not his fault, but think about every situation. I've been covering pro sports for 30 years. When a team consistently blows leads or loses close games or gives up games at the end, we always look at the coach. And I think Harbaugh is a very good coach. I think if he were to lose his job in Baltimore, he would get another head coaching job whenever he wanted it. It's not about that, but it's a culture under him at this point. And I think this is the year. If they lose in the playoffs again and they beat themselves, whether it is blowing a late lead or it's something like Kansas City 2 years ago where I thought they beat themselves in that game, forgetting to run the ball, the taunting penalties by Zay Flowers, the unsportsmanlike penalties. Like, if they beat themselves again in a playoff game, I just think they're going to have to move on. There's just going to have to be a change of voice so you get a change of culture. Hopefully Harbaugh can change it during the season. You got 17 weeks to do it, but if not, you can't keep doing this same thing over and over again because not only is Lamar not getting any younger, but Derrick Henry definitely is not getting any younger. And so you got to capitalize now.
Wait a minute. I'm not so sure about that. I think Henry might be getting younger.
He might play till he's 100. That's wild. Chris Broussard.
Well, look, I will say this about Derrick Henry, and we'll, obviously we'll see what he does the rest of the year. He is beginning to make a case. Obviously, he's a Hall of Famer and all that. But he's beginning to make a case that he could be one of the top handful of running backs we've ever seen.
Yeah, top 5 for sure.
He's making that case. I would not have put him in there going into this season, but if he has another great year like he did last year, which it looks like he could, then I think he's in that discussion now.
Chris Broussard, first things first on FS1. He's with us here on GCR. Chris, I just want to go back to what you're talking about because I'm in this weird place where I just wonder if it does how much it matters, right? Like, we think it's in their DNA. We think it's I think that you see things like on Sunday night as you're watching the broadcast, they show this video of Zay Flowers jawing with fans. And, hey, last time I wasn't here, referring to the playoff game, and the game isn't over. And we gave John Harbaugh so much credit for how he became more of a player's coach. When he arrived in Baltimore, he was this hard-ass disciplinarian. Famously in 2012, the team completely turned on him. There was a mutiny mid-season, and they ended up winning a Super Bowl, right? And then he became this player's coach. And I wonder if what we saw on Sunday is not to take Zay Flowers. I don't want to take anybody's personality away from them. I'm not blaming him. He was wonderful on Sunday night. But I wonder if it requires him maybe finding a little bit more disciplinarian again and being a bit more of a hard ass to say, we haven't won anything. This has to stop. We haven't won anything here.
Yeah, look, this is so tough because you can go from being a hard-nosed coach to a player's coach, which is obvious, as you said, what Harbaugh did. I don't think you can go the other way. I think once you're a player's coach, if you try to play the hard-nosed guy, the players see right through it, and they think it's fraudulent, and I just don't think it works. So he's going to have to, even if for him it might not be fraudulent, because as you said, he was like that earlier in his career, but these players don't know that guy. They know the players coach, the guy that never is critical of him, at least in public, and all of that. And I do think that's one of their problems. Like, I think a hard-nosed coach might have stomped this out earlier because it's just ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. And the players need to have a sense of urgency, not just from within themselves, but from a coach, the coaching staff, and all of that. And I don't know if he's in position now to do that, but he's got to try to walk that line between figuring out what the issue is. And there are also some technical things. One, they are one of the least, they go for it on fourth downs less than any other team in the league, at least the last 2 years.
Yeah.
All right, so that's something they need to start looking. When you have Derrick Henry, him and Lamar are unguardable because I got to worry so much about Derrick that Lamar can explode, or vice versa. On a 4th and 2, 4th and 3, I think you need to consider going for it a lot more. So that's a technical thing they could change. And I just think teams, and it's not just Baltimore in this case, but when teams get leads in the NFL, you often see them get conservative, or you see them on offense, and in defense you see them go prevent a lot. And so I often wonder, like, look, this wasn't the case Sunday, but in a lot of cases a team is shutting an offense down, and then they go prevent, and the team starts getting chunk plays and maybe scoring and maybe getting back in the game. And so I think those are some issues they can actually look at and maybe change without Harbaugh having to change his personality. He can ratchet it up a little bit, but you got to be careful with that because I think you can lose guys if you try to become hardcore after being soft for so long.
Do we obsess too much over this because it's just the evidence that we have? Like, is this just hey, we've got one game, this happened, so we're panicking and acting like
no.
Okay.
No. It's happened too much.
Yeah.
I mean, look, would you guys agree with me? They have been the best team in the league the last 2 years.
I think so. I mean, you want to argue
they're
that,
right there.
Yeah, if quarterback matters more than other positions, because somebody would say the Eagles really were that good last year, but Lamar's better than Jalen Hurts. Like, yeah, I think that part matters.
Yeah, the Eagles are arguable, especially if you look at what they did to Kansas City, but they don't even have a Super Bowl appearance to show for it.
Right.
I think they've beaten them, whether they would have won the Super Bowl or not. I think they beat themselves in Kansas City, and I think they beat themselves in Buffalo. And that's not even to mention all the regular season games we talked about. So this is not just, it'll be okay. Because the other thing is this, guys. These other teams in the AFC are too good. Even though Baltimore has the best roster, if you cannot give Kansas City chances. And if you give them a chance, open the door a little bit, we know Mahomes is going to take advantage. Same thing with Josh Allen in Buffalo, and that's not even to mention what the Chargers might end up being this year. So the other teams are just too good. There's not that much room for error where you can make 4 self-imposed errors in a playoff game against another great team. You're not going to win that way.
I just think it's the 9 lives of the cat thing, or the straw that broke the camel's back. I just think that this is it. Like, he's on. I'm not saying he's going to get fired on Monday if they lose Sunday to the Browns or anything. I'm just saying we're at the end of their line here as it relates to these losses and the way they happen and the double-digit. This is it. I don't think there's any more wiggle room. If they lose a game, if they lose a pivotal game in December because, Matabike got a roughing the passer penalty late in the game and something else weird happened and, they had 4th and 2 and they didn't go for it. If they squander a game that otherwise they had in the bag, I think it's the end of the road. I just don't see how you can ignore it.
Are you saying Harbaugh could get fired during the season? Because I don't see that.
No.
Completely goes.
First of all, I don't think Steve would never fire John. I just don't see that. He would say to John, the time has come for you to take on a new role here. We're making a change in your department, and you're the only one in your department. And John would go upstairs and do something else, if that's what John wanted to do. Steve would never – I'm not saying this to be critical of what Steve did to Brian Billick when I say this. Steve would never do to John what he did to Brian. He would never walk in and say to Brian, you're done.
John.
He would never do that. It would always be way more – it would be way more formal and way more protected. But I do think Steve would go into John at the end of the year and say, look, I think you know what I'm going to do, and I don't want to do it. But I don't have a choice. We can't keep doing this. So
John Harbaugh is a smart guy. He would have to understand it as well.
100%.
So I'm with you. This is the year. And I'm not even saying they have to win the Super Bowl. I mean, you'd like to get there for sure, and they are Super Bowl or bust.
Right.
But they cannot beat themselves. They do not play their best football in the biggest games. It's as simple as that. And that cannot be the case. Like, you saw it last year in Buffalo with that first half. It was like with Lamar, it was like, what is going on? You saw it with Kansas City in that first half by the way the Chiefs were pushing them around. Like, they have got to be able to play their best game in January. And if that doesn't happen, then you might just need a new voice. So, yeah, I'm with you. I think this is it. And it's not about the regular season to me. It's about the playoffs.
And I would say this, too, as we wrap up. I just would say this about the defense. I think the defense will shine in games where they're playing a tepid opponent. They're playing somebody that's, the 12-point underdog, and they'll win a lot of games 30-6. But I don't see this defense being able to handle high-octane offenses. That's my call. That's my prediction.
No, I was surprised at how bad they were Sunday. And now, look, you're facing Josh Allen,
right?
So you're going to give up some points. But the way they played toward the end of last season, I thought, okay, they're going to get better. They got used to Zach Orr. He got his footing, and it just looked completely different from that on Sunday. You got to hope Jair Alexander returns to old form that he hasn't shown in a few years, to be honest. But I think I'll say this: the defense is good enough for them to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, with Lamar,
I do think that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, if Lamar and Henry play to their ability and they don't beat themselves, they can still win the Super Bowl with that defense.
First things first, every afternoon, 3 to 6 on FS1 at Chris_Broussard on Twitter is how you follow him. Chris, anything else we can plug for you, brother?
No, that's it, guys. I appreciate the time. Anytime you need me, let me know.
You know we'll be in touch. Thank you, my friends.
All right, later.
Chris Broussard with us here on GCR.
I'll stand by that, by the way. You can write that down. I think the defense is overrated.
This is the part of that where I'll agree with you is the part where I think what we mask. I think they're going to be a good defense. I don't think they're going to be what you saw yesterday. I disagree with you. Like, they're going to get the Bengals are going to score points. The teams that are the Bills, the Bengals, they're going to score points. I don't even know if the Chiefs have a good offense at this point. I have no idea what the Chiefs are. right now. I couldn't tell. They might snap out of it and be the Chiefs again, but like we saw some of this last year. Where
I don't think so.
This just isn't.
I kind of feel like they're on the start of the downturn. I'm not overreacting to Monday night or whatever night that was, Friday night.
They weren't the same team a year ago. We all know that, but they're a different team. I think they're going to be fine in general, but I just don't think they're a juggernaut offense anymore.
They've lost a lot of key pieces over the last 3 years.
That wants to play defense and run the ball a little bit more and knows their quarterback.
Then they're going to lose that way.
I don't know if I'm ready to say that yet. But I just don't think they're a
Wanna
juggernaut.
bet?
No, I don't. I don't want to bet on anything.
You owe me 3 Chinese lunches from last year.
No, you still owe us.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go then.
Okay. But that being said,
I think we're overrated defensively.
I think those teams are going to do what they want to do because that's the league.
Okay.
The league is set up for, and this is part of what goes into the fourth down thing, that
you just got to keep the ball.
as many times as John Harbaugh can say, well, they're already in field goal range. The truth is, John, the game came down to this play. Either you were going to get a first down or you were going to lose. Because you were going to have to stop Josh Allen when he has 4 downs.
So you don't you think going for it the other night, you don't agree with them punting?
No.
I do.
Nope.
I will say
you're never stopping
down
him.
I disagree with that.
Never stopping him.
Down and distance-wise, I disagree. I think going for it there was far, far too dangerous given where the ball was.
To me, it doesn't matter. You had it's a zero sum. It's you either get this or just go ahead and you're hoping they score on the first play.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
The NFL is not set up for you to be able to stop Josh Allen when he has 4 downs to work with. He's got 4 downs to beat you. I am generally with you, by the way. I'm a gambler, in case you didn't know. I would say go for it. Almost every time. You got the best quarterback and the best running back. But I think the other night, I do think the prudent thing to do there was to punt the ball. I really do. This has a little bit to do with who you have, but I would tell you that if I was the New Orleans Saints in that spot, you need to go for it. And that's what the data
Okay, maybe,
now,
but they're 3-13.
I understand. The data says this
14.
now. It doesn't
I know
even
it does.
matter.
No, I get it.
It doesn't even matter that you have Lamar Jackson.
I know.
That's not even factored into the data.
I know. I just don't. Where was the ball? 22-yard line?
The 37-yard line. Or the 39.
That sounds right. You can't give, but yes, you can't give in this NFL.
I thought it was way deeper than that, but I could be wrong.
You can't give a quarterback.
It was more like the 40.
quarterback can go 80 yards in 90 seconds easy. And
hold on,
because
now
this
could
have to go 80 yards.
By the way,
I
I was in the middle of
It was from the 38.
Boy, that changes it. I thought it was way deeper than that.
No,
because I was in a car and we didn't have a great signal.
But I also would say that part doesn't matter either.
It does matter.
It doesn't.
Yeah, you can't give them the ball on the 20.
You can, and the argument.
Then you're going to lose. Then
the argument is you're better. Well, they did it from the 16 a year ago.
Okay, but you're going to lose if you.
That's the point. The point is you're going to lose.
No, you're not losing if you punt the ball down to their 10-yard line. You have a way better chance.
Well, you don't have a punter that can do that.
Well,
you don't have a good punter.
Where's Sam Cook?
I mean, it's a good question.
Or Dave Zastidal.
And again, he did have
Let's start naming Ravens punters.
He had argued there's 5 total.
Isn't that crazy?
There's 5 punters in 30 years
nuts?
of the Baltimore. And it's
I can only name 2.
Well, you're also 5 years
Kyle.
old.
Let's see, Kyle Richardson.
Yes.
Dave Zastidal.
Yes.
Sam
Cook.
Cook.
You named Jordan Stout, and who was the first one?
Jordan Stout, and the first one was
unfortunately passed away a couple years ago.
Oh man,
he was known for being eccentric.
I said Kyle Richardson.
No, he was not eccentric.
Oh.
Kyle being eccentric.
Go ahead.
Started with a G.
Mm-hmm.
Greg Montgomery.
Oh, that
Greg
guy.
Montgomery
Okay, so
was
we've
the
had
first
5
punter in Ravens history. Yes, they've had 5.
That's insane.
Punters.
That's been our problem.
Is that what the problem is? Hang on a second. They've had 5 punters, and how many players have attempted field goals for the Ravens?
Okay.
You mean, like have the
no, I know this.
Stover, Cundiff. Well, no, Cundiff never did.
Yeah, he did. I assure you, he did.
You sure?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Stover, Cundiff, Tucker.
Yeah, now the new guy.
This
Luke.
dude.
Now you're missing. I know 2 others that have attempted field goals. I don't.
Vedvik.
No, he never attempted a regular season field goal.
Yeah.
No. 2 others.
Still count.
One that was their kicker for a period of time. Another that just attempted a field goal because they didn't trust Matt Stover to kick long field goals. He was hurt.
It wasn't Grammatica, was it?
It wasn't Grammatica.
Okay. His son's kicking for someone now.
Use USF.
Well, yeah, he made the kick
He
the
had
other
game
night.
winner, yeah.
Thank you for that, by the way. I hit both of those games.
You had them to win outright. Lord,
You got to know your college football, buddy. I feel like I should know, like, someone came in for 2 weeks and kicked. I feel like I should know that.
Boy, there are more that I have forgotten.
Oh, there are?
There are.
Okay.
There are more that I have forgotten about.
All right, so go ahead. Let's
That
go down
filled in.
memory lane. This is better to
So-
talk about the game.
So the one that I was thinking of that kicked for 17 games between 2008
give me a
and
hint.
2009, missed a kick in Minnesota and then got fired.
Oh,
Ended up having a nice career.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think I know.
Wasn't
say this-
wasn't Graham Gano, was it?
It wasn't Graham Gano, but
We
Because
say
that's who
his name-
Eric wanted to draft instead of Justin
but,
Tucker.
Yeah,
Hauschka?
Hauschka.
Stephen Hauschka.
Right, because Eric wanted to draft Gano.
I completely forgot that some of these guys. The guy that I was thinking of was Wade Ritchie.
Oh, Wade
who
Ritchie.
was on
Right,
the roster
right,
and
right.
filled in and made like a 53-yard
Okay.
kick once. I forgot that Shane Graham actually was on the roster for a game.
Oh, yeah, from the
For
Bengals.
one game.
Yeah, okay.
And he went 2
He's a
for
weirdo.
2.
He's got a Y in his name.
That's true. He does. 2 others that I had forgotten.
I can't stand when people do that, like Glenn with 2 N's
Right.
instead of 1.
These 2 players both attempted kicks but never made one for the
Billy-
Baltimore Ravens.
Billy Gunn.
In 2005.
Is it too soon for a Gundam joke?
Stop it.
Or no?
Something named Aaron Elling. Aaron Elling
Okay.
apparently attempted a kick for the Baltimore Ravens in 2005.
Okay.
And in
If you
2002,
say so.
something named J.R. Jenkins apparently attempted a
JRJ?
kick.
You don't remember JRJ?
J.R. Jenkins in 2002. I have no
Are you
memory.
sure
I
Cundiff
would have gone
attempted a
7
field goal?
or 6 for 9.
Can we do
Yes.
Cundiff jokes or no?
No, you can do whatever you want. Who cares?
I did one the night of the game.
Yeah, I know you did. I know you did. We'll come back in. We'll play Would You Rather Wednesday. Drew's here. I don't
These
know
are
what
fun.
we're
These
doing.
1 hour stints are fun.
By the way, today's is going to be more like 2 hours, but we pre-recorded half of it.
Oh, all right.
So that's what it is. Today's show is also brought to you by the Maryland 5-Star. Get your tickets back at Fair Hill in Cecil County this October. The Maryland 5-Star. Maryland 5-Star.
Are we doing a
with
Ryder Cup preview?
Stop it. Maryland 5-Star with a number 5.us. It's Glenn Clark Radio. Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantopoulos family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Looking for Baltimore's premier waterfront dining experience? Head to Nick's Fish House, located in the Baltimore Peninsula. Enjoy crabs all year long, plus happy hour Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6. Planning a celebration? From rehearsal dinners to corporate crab feasts, Nick's is the spot to make it unforgettable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Live music fills the air every Thursday through Sunday. Check out the full lineup at nicksfishhouse.com. Nick's, it's where Baltimore comes to eat, drink, and play by the water.
Game day gets even better at Live Casino. Score a live jersey on September 6th and bucket hat on September 27th. Plus, catch our Big Plays, Big Pays hot seats on select game days. When the home team scores, the prize pool doubles. And we'll give away a $50 sports and social gift card with every touchdown. Take it to the end zone at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
All right, back in here on GCR. Drew
right.
Forrester is here on a Wednesday edition of the program.
I just want to
I don't know what
want to talk.
is about to happen here.
No, you know exactly what's going to happen.
Do I?
Yes, I want to get to the root of who do you like with Russell Henley? Harris English or J.J. Spawn and the better ball?
I'm going to be like, who is the player that at Caves, somebody was asking about the Ryder Cup. He's like, we're playing for $30 million. I'll get to the Ryder Cup.
But now we can talk about the Ryder Cup.
Stop.
Who do you like with JT?
I don't know. Steve Johnson. I don't care.
Steve Johnson?
I don't care.
He made the Ryder Cup team?
I don't know.
Damn.
I don't care. I don't. You're not going to.
All right. Are you going out to see Skenes tonight?
What's that?
Are you going out to see Skenes?
Skenes.
Pirates.
Skeens.
Oh, no, I'm not going to Skeens. I'm going tomorrow. I'm supposed to be going tomorrow.
Are you going tonight,
afternoon.
Drew?
Oh, no.
I'm not. I'm going. Lucy and I are going to the Mercy soccer game.
Oh, that's nice. I'm going to see Heim tonight.
Oh, nice.
Going to see Heim at Merriweather this evening.
Okay.
So I can't go to. I've got tickets for tomorrow's game, but it was only because I have a buddy from Pittsburgh who was like, "Hey, I want to go," and now he can't go. So it might be,
he's made
Griffin might be the beneficiary of that tomorrow.
He's made.
Right,
I don't know if
two
you know
Pirates games
these.
this week, then.
I don't know if you know
you going
these
tonight?
numbers.
Tonight, yeah.
I don't know if you know the numbers. He's made 29 starts this year.
Okay.
How many earned runs is he allowed?
29 starts. He's allowed.
I know his ERA is under 2, so
Yeah, so it's got to be. Well, but he's not pitching complete games in each game.
So he's made 29
So
starts.
60. I'll just for the fun of it, 69.
no, I'll say less than that. 40.
And neither of you are right. You're both over.
Wow.
He's allowed 38 earned runs. Now, hold on, because it gets good. In 25 of the 29 starts, 25 of the 29, he's allowed X. So in 4 of the 29, he's allowed Y. What is Y? He's given up 38 total runs.
Okay.
So
Y in 4 starts. What is Y?
2 or more runs.
But what is that total number?
Oh, okay. Then 24.
The number of earned runs he's given up in 4 of the 29 starts is 17.
So in the other 25 starts, he's allowed.
He's allowed
12.
21 runs in 25 starts.
Yeah. I hear he's good.
He has 39 walks. He's allowed 38 earned runs, and he's walked 39 guys.
Look at you with all these stats.
It's incredible.
You calling the game tonight?
I just
Yeah,
like
right.
I just love
start
pitching.
caring about sports.
Since you can bet on all the games, man.
So
Come
how
on.
Many, so how many strikeouts is he going to have
39.
tonight?
So you know what happens though.
Tonight's
You know
got
what
39.
happens tonight, right? I mean, you know what happens tonight.
It's either a perfect game or he gets shelled.
He either takes a no-hitter into the 8th inning and Jeremiah Jackson beats out a single in the infield, or they score 6 runs on him in 4 2/3 and he's out. There's no in-between.
Well, the Orioles aren't doing that. They just don't. They don't hit like that against anybody. So that's not happening.
So the other one's happening. He takes a no-hitter into the 8th inning.
In
Right.
play. It's 100% in play. Speaking of which, let's get to Would You Rather Wednesday.
All right, here we go.
It's Would You Rather Wednesday is brought to you today by.
What's the Towson, Maryland spread, by the way, Saturday?
I haven't found it yet. I'll let you know, though.
Griffin's definitely
Towson.
betting. He's definitely betting.
Towson favorite by 4.
I went to the game Friday night.
Is Malik Washington still quarterbacking?
Yeah, he's still the quarterback. It was so unwatchable.
What was it, 20-9 they beat
and it wasn't,
Northern Illinois?
And it wasn't even that interesting.
Okay.
I mean, it was
anybody there?
No.
Sydney Stewart got a sack, though.
But it was Friday night, right?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I say there was nobody there. I think there were
20,000?
36,000 or something like that.
Whoa, time out. I mean, I was on the other side of the world. There were 30,000 real human beings at the game?
When you say real humans, I don't know what the number is. It was probably about that. It was probably about 30,000 real humans at the game on Friday night. And I get it. That's the how are there 30,000 people that have nothing better to do? I understand
That's
that.
That's amazing.
God, it was just such a bad football game. It
so
was just so bad.
So we're not any good?
It's not that they're not. They still have to figure out if they're any good. They have a really good
Listen
tight end.
to me calling us we and you calling them they.
They have a really good tight end. Their tight end is outstanding.
Okay.
There's a kid named Fleming. He came from Georgia State. And they've got an NFL player at tight end.
Okay.
He's he looks like Vernon Davis. He's not Vernon Davis because Vernon Davis is one of the 25 or so best tight ends in football history.
Right.
But he looks like Vernon Davis. He's a hell of a player.
Okay.
They have an inside linebacker named Wingate who's unreal.
Okay.
I mean, he's unreal. But right now, that's what they have. Their wide receivers are.
Quarterback's okay.
I think the
He's an
quarterback's.
athlete.
I think the quarterback's gonna be good.
He's an
I think he's
athlete.
gonna be very good. He's just not there yet.
Right.
And I think their
He'll be good when he goes to Ohio State.
Yeah, sure. Their wide receivers are good enough.
Where's he going, by the way? UCLA or Michigan? If you had to make a pick right now, which
no, because
one?
Michigan's got a freshman quarterback.
Well, that won't matter because he'll be gone in 2 years.
Maybe
to Alabama.
But they're not gonna. If he's gone, he's not waiting 2 years. Unless they
There's
fire the
zero
coach.
chance that kid finishes at Maryland.
Almost certainly.
Yeah,
And
right.
Again, unless Maryland suddenly has just said we're going to pay for the quarterback because otherwise we've got nothing. I don't know. And Malik Washington, to be fair, everything I know about Malik Washington, I've gotten to know Malik and his family. This is the crazy part, and we have documented.
He could have gone somewhere else.
Absolutely,
and didn't.
could be getting more money right now.
Right.
Like the Loxley thing matters to him significantly, and being
wants
at
to play at home.
Being at home because of his siblings matters to him. Will that matter still a year from now? I don't know.
Yeah, when somebody waves $10 million at
right
him.
Now, he has definitely turned down more money
for sure
to be at Maryland.
Just say it at
There's
Michigan.
Just
say at Michigan.
We know that it's at
Right.
Michigan. That's
Just say
documented.
it.
I'm saying it's not just Michigan. Right. There's been more money.
Towson.
Correct. They were all in. Oh God, we
roll it out.
Might be time.
What? Now what?
Live Casino and Hotel, the best place to watch all the big games every football Sunday is Inside Sports and Social at Live Casino.
Would you get to the Would You Rather
Yes,
Wednesday?
today, this is right up your alley. Today, we're giving away, for someone who participates in Would You Rather Wednesday, 2 free rounds of golf at Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses. Comes with cart as well. As before the weather gets too cold, and Drew says no such thing exists, but before that happens, get out, play some golf. 2 free. You can take a friend, or you can just go twice. I don't care what you do with it. 2 free rounds of golf at Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses for someone who participates in Would You Rather Wednesday. Would you rather number 1? Next 4 games the Baltimore Ravens play include some big games.
Yes.
Chiefs, Lions. Next 4 games, they are going to be up by 10 with 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter in all 4 games. Or
no caveat.
Or they're going to be tied.
Or eat your own poop.
Yeah,
Which one would you rather do?
They're going
I don't know. Let me think about that for a second.
Or they're going to be tied with 6 minutes remaining in all 4 games.
I mean, you want them to be winning.
Do you?
Yeah.
This is a genuine question. I don't think that it's that easy.
I think it is. They
don't-
will. If
I
they're
don't-
up by 10 points in each of those 4 games with 6 minutes left, they win all. They win all 4 of them.
Where does that come from?
You know, the law of averages.
Where is your faith in that based
the
on?
law of
This
averages?
is a little bit of a dumb question.
It's not a dumb question.
It is.
It's not.
There's only one answer. Eat your own poop. No. The answer is you want to be up by 10 points.
I don't know if that's true or not.
It is.
I don't know that that's true.
You're not a sportsman.
No.
You want to. It's like saying to somebody, "Do you want a 4-shot lead with 3
No,
holes to go, or do you want to
think
be
it's-
all square?"
I think it's a question about what the DNA of a team is. I think it's a question of.
Well, I'll take the 10 points. Now give me the golf. I'll take the 10 points.
Enjoy being 2-3 in 5 weeks.
I'll take.
Enjoy the 2-3 start of the season.
Derrick Henry.
We lost him. We knew we were going to lose.
Well, no,
him
I
inevitably.
answered.
I know,
answered
but
it.
then now you're reading a magazine. Now you've moved on.
It's Press Box.
I understand, and
It's
I'm
a great
big fan.
read.
Blew
Hold
out
it
my
up. Show
headphones.
the camera.
It's a
Show
great
the camera.
read.
This is the new print issue of Press Box with Derrick Henry on the cover.
He
It's
grabbed
available
it and he
for free.
hit the little slider.
Oh, sorry.
The fact that we're still on the air is a miracle.
Who's going to be the
Stop-
next Oriole
settle down
manager?
over there?
Do you think Mansolino?
No, I don't think it's
Think
Mansolino.
you win it. You see all these walk-offs?
Is there any chance it could be Buck? I mean, honestly.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Because of Buck or because of the Orioles?
I just because I think a little bit of both is what I would say. A little bit of both. I don't think this scenario would work out for either one. That's all I would say. I don't think it would work out on either side.
Okay.
Drew Forrester,
Okay.
reading a magazine, brought
No,
to you
I'm
by
asking
the
you.
print issue of Press Box, because, again, inevitably this was going to be the case. We were going to – have you
I
seen it?
answered the question.
I understand that, but now you're reading a magazine. We're doing a show.
Give me another question.
We're doing a show. You can take it with you. You're going to be on a toilet at some point today.
Well,
Just
that's
take
true.
it with you.
Okay.
For God's sake, right now, do the show.
I'm with you right here, dog.
Would you rather you went to the game on Saturday night,
Yes.
but you had to be awake at 5 o'clock on Sunday morning?
Okay.
I don't know. You went to do something, play golf, go to church, whatever you're doing.
Sick in the
Okay.
morning,
You'd be awake at 5 a.m.
Okay.
So you left after 6 innings.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
And you missed one of the most memorable games in not only Orioles, but modern baseball history.
For sure.
Or you had to be awake at 5
Well, the
a.m.
Ravens have a 10-point lead with
You
4
had to be
minutes
awake
to go.
at 5 a.m. the next day. You stayed for the whole game. But instead of
What time
getting
did the game end here? Because I was
instead
in
of-
California. I mean, I was in Oregon.
I don't know. It was definitely
It was
10
like a
o'clock.
10:30
10:30?
11.
Yeah.
because the
Because
game
we were-
started a little bit late.
We were
because
on the
of
17th
ceremony.
hole. And blah. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, you stayed, but instead of getting what actually happened, Jackson Holiday got a single, and then the Orioles lost on the next pitch.
Wow. Now this way better than our first dumb question you asked. So
And is the light rail shut down on the way back? Or not?
I leave early.
Uh-huh.
I miss what happened.
But you get some sleep.
But I got some sleep.
You're-
Or I go to the game, stay the whole time.
Yep.
Holiday breaks up the no-hitter.
Yep. You don't see a no-hitter, and you don't see the Orioles win. You just see a hit and game over.
Well, I won't be that guy. I left after 6 innings like a jerk, and the rest of the 46,000 people there got to witness history. I'm not going to be that guy who goes, oh, I'd rather just stay and Holiday ruins the no-hitter. I'll take the first one. Now, I will confess to you, as we were walking to the 17th hole at Sheep Ranch, I wanted him to get the no-hitter. I wanted him to get the no-hitter.
I mean, look, I went. I've said it.
I was kind of disappointed
Yes,
when Holiday hit the home
that
run.
doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense if you weren't there. If you weren't there, that makes no sense to me. Why would you want him to get a no-hitter if you weren't there?
Because other people were there.
Wait, but what is that going to do for?
He's just such a Samaritan. You know?
Right.
it was-
like,
but,
that
I mean,
makes no sense.
I don't know. I just
If you're there,
have
and
you ever
have the
seen a
chance to
no-hitter
win-
in person?
Exactly right. That's why.
have you?
No, I
saw
haven't.
one.
Where did you see?
It was a guy
No.
guy for
Like Aberdeen.
no guy for the Brewers.
What Brewers guy?
Yeah, look the name up.
What year is
How do you
this?
not
Oh,
remember?
when I was much
You gotta
younger.
always remember.
No, look it up. As soon as you say, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's a Spanish.
Teddy.
Teddy Higuera.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just wanted to see a no hitter.
I understand that for all of us that were there.
Okay.
By the way, Teddy Higuera didn't throw a no-hitter.
Then it wasn't him.
Juan Nieves.
Juan Nieves. Thank you.
Juan Nieves threw
Thank
the
you.
no-hitter in 1987.
Thank you. I told you it was a Spanish guy.
Okay.
Well,
look, man, I wanted it because I was there, and I wanted to say I witnessed.
did
a
you stay for the
no-hitter.
whole thing?
Yeah.
Well,
we
of course you stay for the whole thing if you're there in the ninth inning, right?
Yeah, we were there. We saw
Insane,
the,
right?
We saw the, oh, it
Never
was,
seen
it
anything
was
like
one of
it.
the most amazing.
Can you
things.
imagine? This is the only question that matters.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having the Dodgers in the money line there in a parlay?
Did you have
By
to
the way,
imagine?
I bumped into.
No.
We probably bumped into 20 Dodgers fans after the game, and like
They all thought it was the greatest thing ever, or they were all ready to kill themselves.
they had no idea what to say. Like they had no idea what to say. It was just such shock and disbelief that they had no clue what to say about what they had just seen. They
What do you
didn't know to
say?
be angry. They didn't know to be. They just
What do you say?
flummoxed. We've
I mean,
never.
what do you
seen
do?
This.
What do you say?
Never seen this.
Right?
All right, number 3. Would you rather?
Well, I didn't see either of the home runs Ohtani hit on Sunday. Were any of them mammoth?
I wasn't watching anything
Okay.
on Sunday. I couldn't possibly. Tell
Okay.
you. I was watching tennis and football on Sunday.
Okay.
That's what got my time.
Was that an upset, by the way, Alvarez winning, or no?
No, they're both. They're the two greatest players.
But-
It's
but
1-8
was that an upset?
No.
Oh, what did I say? Alvarez. Told you it's a Spanish guy. Alcaraz. Was that an upset or no?
If Sinner was a favorite, he was like a minus 110 favorite. Like
What's that mean, minus 110?
Yeah, what does that mean? You act like you don't know. Like they're 1A and 1B
Okay.
right now.
But he beat him easily, right?
Yes, that part was surprising that he beat him.
Alcaraz was plus 114 apparently.
Is Sinner tough?
massive,
Is he
massive.
tough?
What do you mean, is he tough?
Is he tough?
What
like,
does that mean?
Djokovic would never get run out of the gym like that in the final. I'm just saying he wouldn't. And this isn't his hate. I don't think so, man.
Anyway, we got to do this quickly because I got to get Ed Hottle in here.
All right, well, let's get it in
to
here.
pay a long overdue speeding ticket. A judge has come up with a clever
I got
punishment
4 of those.
for you. I know. And you cannot watch any football at all for the rest of this season. Or you can get out of it if you agree to do a wife swap thing until Thanksgiving, and you have to live with
Bill Belichick?
the Phillies Karen.
Oh, no. I'm not watching
You're
it.
not watching
If I got to stay with her for a day, I'm not watching any football.
I don't know, man.
I hate to say that.
I don't know.
You would stay with her?
I can't live without watching football. I got to work.
I can't either, but I'm not.
I got to work the Stevenson game.
I'm
on
not
Saturday.
staying with her. Punch her right in the face. Does she have it? Was she wearing a Phil?
Don't say that. For God's sakes, you don't say that.
You can say it. You just can't do it.
Lord.
Was she wearing the jersey the whole time, too? That's what really irked me.
Probably going to.
Didn't she look like Elizabeth Warren to you?
Didn't look like Elizabeth Warren to me, but I didn't pay that.
She did to me.
Anyone with short hair, is that what you're trying to say?
I don't know.
All right. That's Would You Rather Wednesday. Get your responses in.
Coach Hottle's thrilled with this segment,
Right.
by the way.
Somebody's winning 2 free rounds of golf at Baltimore's Classic 5 golf courses. At Glenn Clark Radio on Twitter, Facebook.com.
I love football, but I'm not hanging out with her.
I understand. Stevenson opened up the season with a victory on Saturday. They play their home opener this coming Saturday afternoon against Widener at Mustang Stadium at 1 o'clock.
Yes.
He is the head coach of the Mustangs. Coach Ed Hottle is with us here on GCR. Coach, what's going on, brother? It's Glenn, and Drew Forrester is here with me on a Wednesday. What's going on with you?
Not much, guys. Not much. Just sitting here doing a little bit of prep for Saturday.
I feel like that wasn't so bad. What got into the team in the second quarter in the opener, and how do you bottle that up so every quarter looks like that?
Well, I think it's more, what we kind of went through to get to the game. It ended up being a 3-hour bus ride, and I think it took a little bit of a toll on us in the first quarter. And I think, once we got our legs underneath of us, we were able to take advantage of some things. And I told the guys at halftime, I think it might have been the most productive quarter in the history of the program.
Right.
I don't remember, an explosion of points like that, but, really proud of the guys. It felt fast in the first quarter, and we talked about it on the sideline a little bit, and they were able to sort of settle themselves down and kind of right the ship, which was cool to see.
26 points in the second quarter in that win at Bridgewater. Coach, if I started generically, right, like it feels like the last couple years, you've been right there, you've been in the mix, but it feels like you've been chasing like that consistency on both sides of the ball, 60 minutes, and doing that week in and week out. Is it fair to say that that's like right now, you know you're there, you're still competitive, but you just need to figure out how to get the team to be exactly that good week in and week out?
Sure. No, I think you're 100% right. I think, some of that has to do with youth, in our approach and our preparation, and, something that we're constantly talking about, in meetings, pre-practice, post-practice, just that maturity. The last 3 years, we've just been a younger football team, and now, we're finally getting some older guys back in the program post-COVID. So it's exciting, it's an exciting time. And, rallying from, what was a 14-point first quarter deficit last year is certainly a sign of maturity. And, hopefully that we can, sort of rally around that, moving forward.
Tell me about your quarterback.
He's doing a good job. He's kind of learning on the fly. Came to us in the spring. Jalen's done a great job learning the offense. Him and Coach Hoig spend a great deal of time together. Coach spends a lot of time with all of our quarterbacks, but, he's done a good job absorbing the offense. There's still, a lot of room for him to grow, which is certainly exciting for us. He did a nice job, his first college start Saturday night, and, was able to get out of it unscathed from a big mistake perspective, which is something that we saw in him during the preseason. We saw from him in the spring. Does a nice job taking care of the football, and if he can do that, manage the offense, and give us a chance to have some success, it's going to be a fun year.
Having Louis Klauser back, and boy, it seems like you guys have kind of become like a wide receiver at the D3 level the last couple of years, right? Where do you keep finding these guys, man?
Yeah, it's a little crazy. That room, a couple of years ago, that room wasn't great. In the last, 3 or 4,
it's been our best room, our best position group. And, it's just, I think a lot of it has to, a lot of credit has to go to Coach Kramer. He does a great job developing those guys and helping those guys to grow as not only football players, but young men. And, we believe here that translates, that translates to good play on the field. So, it's recruiting and it's player development, and we've been fortunate that room's really, really healthy.
He is Ed Hottle, Stevenson football coach. They open up the season. They already opened the season. They play their home opener on Saturday, 1 o'clock against Widener for you to get out there. Coach, who else do I, obviously I need to know about because I'm going to be calling the games, but who else to you has maybe either in the opener or in fall camp really stood out as someone that you think is ready to take another step forward this season and be a more significant contributor?
Well, I think it's more of a position group than it is a position, and I would say it's our defensive line. Those guys are all back. Teray Franklin, Tommy Fisher, Michael Hall, Colin Riley, Ibrahim Dial. There's 3 or 4 more, that I could name, but we're really looking at that group to take a really, really big step forward. I told them during the preseason, if we can get production from 9 guys out of that group, we're going to be really, really hard to beat, defensively. We ended up playing, I think Saturday night, it was a little humid down there, southern part of Virginia, and I think we played 8 different defensive linemen in our 3-4 scheme, and we're really able to be fresh. So the depth of that group, and then having some pretty experienced guys in that group, I'm excited for what they're potentially going to bring to the table for the next 9 weeks.
All right, let's get to the important stuff. What takes up more time at the moment, football coaching or lacrosse dadding?
That's a great question. It seems like the lacrosse dad stuff never ends. But it's a blast watching my kids play, my guys play, and Coach Canabine here calls me the worst lacrosse dad in the country, which is absolutely not true. So
why does he say that? Wait a second. Where does that come from? I know you're active. I know you're involved. You're like ball boy half the time.
That's right. No, it's a blast, and having our guys, having Wyatt up at Syracuse and having Colin Tucker over with Brian at Calvert Hall, it's an absolute blessing. That program over there, shameless plug for the Hall, but they've done a remarkable job. And
I don't know about their golf program, Coach. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know if you know Drew's the golf coach over there, and I don't know what to make of that.
Go Hall.
Yeah, right.
That's it. No, they do a great job. I mean, the quality of the education over there is phenomenal. My guys are thriving in that environment. So yeah, it makes it easy to be a lacrosse dad at the Hall.
I actually called a Calvert Hall game last year and was really impressed. I was really, really impressed by Cole, and obviously we know what Wyatt's been doing up at Syracuse, and it's awesome to see, man. Like I don't know. Does he think you're the worst lacrosse dad because you can't get any of your boys to come to Stevenson because they're all doing too well and going D1? Is that part of the reason?
That may be part of it. He's been recruiting them since they were 6. So it's the relationship between my guys and Paul's been phenomenal. I mean, I think he's been a really, really big part of their growth in the game and their passion for it. I mean, they grew up on the sideline here, watching our team play. So camping out in locker rooms, going to practices, watching those guys. I think it was incredibly influential for them. So I'd love for them to come here, but you can't go to school where Dad works. It's just not cool.
It becomes awkward, right?
That's right. That's right.
All right, Saturday, 1 o'clock, Stevenson Widener, Mustang Stadium. Ed Hottle, as always, looking forward to seeing you over there and looking forward to another great season of Mustangs football. Thank you for taking the time for us this morning. We'll talk again real soon, all right?
Awesome, guys. Thank you.
Coach Ed Hottle from Stevenson with us here on GCR. Yeah, his boys are good, man.
All right, smart guy. Where's Widener?
It's in Pennsylvania. It's, I want to say, near Philadelphia. It's definitely on that side of the state.
All right.
Why?
No, you're right.
Where is it? Do you know
it's
what
in
town?
Philly.
It's in Philly?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Philly. I
thought
if
it
you
was
said
right,
where is it, then people would say Philly.
Yeah,
It might
I thought it was like right outside.
Yeah,
It's in Chester.
Yeah, I mean,
it's in Chester.
It's
right.
in Philly.
Yeah. Look at you thought you had me, huh?
Yeah, well, I
You
thought I
thought
had
you
you when
had
I
me.
asked you about 311, and you You knew where they were from.
You also tried to do like the first
Sprung
time we
monkey.
met, sprung monkey, 100%.
Right.
You were like,
that's when I knew you were going to be okay. Well, until the second day when you didn't come in because you said you ran into a ditch.
Crashed my car.
Right. That was a good one. I give you credit
Drove
there.
Right into a ditch.
You were going to get fired, and I saved you.
There is, that part is true. There is part
He's
of that
done.
story.
He's done.
No, the part of the story.
I'm like, what do you mean he's done? It's the second day.
The part of the story that I didn't tell then, if you really want to know, is that it was because I had visited a young lady the night before.
Oh, I knew it wasn't a real story.
No. The ditch part is 100% accurate. That part is true.
All right.
It's just that I drove into a ditch after maybe getting an hour of sleep, but the ditch part remains true.
Still the ditch is full.
Second day.
Yeah, right.
No producer. Second day.
Yeah, second day. By the way, there was to be fair.
It was good the first day.
No, but there was supposed to be someone coming in.
Wow, Drew
That's
saved
the other
you.
part of the story.
He saved your radio career?
I did.
Do you remember someone was supposed to spend the week training me? It's hilarious thinking about this.
Who was that? Oh, you're going to write it down?
Is that bad?
They showed up the first day.
Okay.
But they then realized that
You know what
that
you're
you were
doing?
so good.
It was oh
my God.
How funny is that? How funny is that?
Oh, she did some training.
All right. Easy over there.
That's for sure.
Easy over there.
We're going to get a repeat of
Yeah,
we're not doing that.
Some
We're
training went
not
on.
doing that. Yeah.
Those were the days.
That's a true
Those
story.
were the days.
She showed up for day one and then was like,
you knew who you were then.
I think she was used to the hires were normally people that didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
And I was like, no, I'm actually
somewhat competent.
Well, you need help with
overqualified
learning how to
for this
drive.
job.
Right.
Yeah. The problem was I had plans that evening. And
I got it.
that was way
I got you.
All right. When we come back
What
in.
else? What else we got to slay here? Anything else?
You got anything else on your mind?
Boy, anything else on my mind? No, I'm thinking about it. Like,
Okay.
I don't know.
How many
Who's going to be the MVP in the American League? Judge?
It's a good question, actually. That's a good question.
Should be Cal.
Yeah.
I think they're still, but Cal's obviously slowed down and
He played all those games in a row.
He still have.
He's tired.
Is that what-
He still got the.
I can't. I wish I could be mad about that, but I can't. Even
Pretty
do
good,
that.
right?
That was actually decent. That actually was decent.
What's he have now? 52 homers? 53?
By the way, Aaron Judge is now
Yeah.
a minus 400
I guess
favorite.
they don't think it's close.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So Judge is going to win again?
yeah. Judge is gonna win.
All right.
He's gonna win.
National League,
Come on.
Otani? Right.
Yeah, Otani's gonna win there. Although Schwarber got the 50 home runs last night.
Right.
Like, in a world where Shohei Otani didn't exist, he would be in that.
Well, Sagano was like, I want you to get that MVP. On
Is that what?
Sunday."
Is that what it was? He was
Yeah.
just grooving him in there.
Yep.
Just grooving him in there.
Cy Young is obvious, right? Skeens and Scooble.
Scooble, yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Um,
And is there a?
who do you think's winning the World Series right now, today? Boom. Here's who's winning.
God, that's a good question, man.
I think I'm still going to stick with when we did our
Yeah.
our redone predictions. I think I'm still going to stick with
Like
the Phillies.
Like you just don't have faith in the teams that
Phillies, really? Please no.
There's a part of me that still thinks it could be the Astros, and they're not even any good.
I do too.
Like,
and
they're
that
not
also,
even good.
That also scares me.
And I still think it could be them. I just don't have much faith in. Like, do you have faith in the Brewers? Come on. Do you have faith in the Blue Jays?
Tigers.
I kind of do have faith in the Brewers a little bit.
I think they're fun.
I think their game has held up. I think their game holds up home or away.
Right.
I think they're. I do believe in the Brewers.
All right.
Here, I'll give you the sleeper of all sleepers in the American League. I can't stand it. I can't believe I'm saying
I really
it.
have to get out.
You know who I'm going to say?
What are you going to say?
Boston.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, they got pieces.
Chapman.
Right.
Something's happened to him.
Yeah, he looks like.
Did I see this stat right, or was I asleep at 3 a.m. in Bandon Dunes? Has he not given up? Has he not allowed a base hit in 50 innings?
Yeah, that is correct. That is the stat. Yes.
He hasn't allowed a base hit in 50 innings?
Unless he pitched like last night.
No, but I mean, as
yeah.
of recently.
Yeah. He was on a streak of. When
Holy
he played the Orioles,
crap.
it was like an 0 for 39, and so then he went another week, so it's like 0 for 50 or something straight.
Unbelievable. So he'll go up a 3-run homer in the bottom of the 9th against
100%.
somebody.
No doubt about
in
it.
the playoffs.
Yep, he and Dietrich Ems, the
I
best
just have
relievers in baseball.
I just have a weird feeling about Boston. I hate to say it. Man, I hope not.
All right, I got to go. Can we take
Where
a
are you
break?
going?
I have a meeting today. I do.
Oh, one of those.
Yeah, I got a meeting today. Yeah, today might be the day.
Job interview.
It might be the day. I might.
Well, God bless you guys.
Well, I mean, you can stay. I just got to take a break and do tidbit and two.
No, I got to go.
Okay, goodbye.
I got a meeting.
Drew's MoneyDish.com.
Luke, my brother wants to know who the Ravens hire after Harbaugh gets canned.
Shut up.
He wants Robert Saleh.
No, this is the insane part about the anti. I've got your answer. It's Robert Saleh. Christ.
He wants
maybe
Drew's
a good one.
He wants Drew's thoughts.
Of course, he wants my thoughts. I'll give you one in a weird twist. You ready?
Yeah.
Andy Reid.
There you go. All right. When we come back in, we'll get a tidbit and tubular. Drew'sMorningDish.com. Goodbye.
See ya.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1970. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
Game day gets even better at Live Casino. Score a live jersey on September 6th and bucket hat on September 27th. Plus, catch our big plays, big pays hot seats on select game days. When the home team scores, the prize pool doubles. And we'll give away a $50 sports and social gift card with every touchdown. Take it to the end zone at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Bo Smolko profiles Ravens running back Derrick Henry and how the football legend has proven to be a unicorn at the position with the success that he's found after the age of 30. Also inside, Brandon Schwartzberg looks at Kobe Mayo's push to find rhythm at the big league level. And we mark the start of the college football season by meeting players from all 4 FBS and FCS programs throughout the state. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
All right, winding down. We will be back for Project Game Day this Sunday. PressBoxOnline.com/Game Day. Come hang out with us for that. It's all brought to you by the Costas Inn, 1-800-GAMBLER, helpmygamblingproblem.org, as well as Game Day Men's Health and Live Casino and Hotel. What did Joe say something interesting?
I mean, I would listen.
Some
it's Joe, so yes.
radio host in Cleveland lost his mind yesterday about the fact that the Ravens are hosting the Browns for the 30th anniversary.
I hope it was on purpose.
This is the
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was on purpose. But this is the crazy part. The guy was crashing out. I think his name is Andy Baskin. He's a radio host in Cleveland. He was crashing out, and lost the plot in the midst of what he was saying. So what he said was sort of absurd and pathetic. I mean, you're trying to pull it up. That guy. Yeah, it's that guy. It's that guy. Baskin and Phelps. If you want, it's fine. Because somewhere in there it is close to a point. but he doesn't know how to make it. And it's weird. Like, my response to it, God, I don't really want to do this because I gotta go. No, go ahead. This is my job. That's a meeting. This is job. Go ahead.
I just think it's kind of horse, you know what, that they're doing this against the Browns. I understand that they probably wanted to do it in their season opener, and I get that. But, I mean, did you really have to pick the Cleveland game to do this? You want to talk about just, like, poking the bear on something. And the problem I have with the whole thing is that I care, people my age care, anyone that rooted for the Browns more than 30 years ago cares. I just think it's a real move on the Ravens to do this against the Browns. I just think tacky is like the word I'm trying to use. I can't be alone in the way I feel about the fact that what a bunch of clowns the Ravens are. Yes, good organization. Yes, we love Ozzie, but as for what he did in Cleveland. But, I mean, did they really have to pick this game to celebrate their 30th season? That's a giant middle finger to all of you. I'm sorry, Jeff. It bothers me. That's just
so the difference between the two words
classless.
that he used there is significant, because the first word he used was tacky, and we could talk about tacky. But then he went to what a bunch of clowns the Ravens are, and that's where he loses the plot, right? Because there is, and by the way, this is sports media anymore. And
Courtesy of 93.2.
Yeah, 92.3.
Or whatever.
There's no, you don't do even numbers.
90.
Yeah, there's no 93.2.
I said 0.2. Okay.
Yes,
Well,
it doesn't work that way.
It was a mistake.
It was correct, exactly right. I don't. It's not a botch. We stopped counting botches. You got one, and then we just stopped counting them for some reason. We got to get.
Well, yeah,
back
because
to
I
that.
stopped making botches. So.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I think Brian tried to
botching.
give me a botch for something last week, and I can't remember what it was, but you didn't.
You tried to give yourself a botch too, and I didn't get that.
Yeah.
See, this isn't fair because I have to work harder during the show, and I can't.
Is that what it is? I have to do most
of
of the talking, so I'm more likely to screw up. But
yeah, but I have to hit buttons and stuff.
Oh, okay. Anyway, moral of the story is, you can't just say something and make a point. That's why, again, I'm here doing this, is because I just don't want to say absurd things for the sake of saying them, which is what they want you to do. I think you could think of a few examples of people like that in town. Just say it, be absurd, and that's what we want. And I won't do it. When he says there's something tacky about it, that's at least the cousin of a point, right? Like, he's not wrong.
I thought
to
the
say
point,
that.
the people his age, like I thought that was also like
it
probably is relevant.
It's
to
not
a large demographic.
It's not the same as what I talk about. That's awful that the Colts do. The Colts rub our history in their face, or in our faces, and it's stolen, right? Like nothing that when they celebrate. We're gonna wear a throwback jersey that John Unitas wore. It's bullshit. You don't none of that is yours. It has nothing to do with you. It's embarrassing that anybody in that city wants anything to do with it. In the same way that I want nothing to do with the history of the St. Louis Browns or the Cleveland Browns. And so it's not apples to apples. Cleveland has a team. They have their history. They have their colors. They have all of that. And however they got it, as we talked about last week, they got it. It's not, to be fair, it's not because Art Modell was benevolent. There was a lawsuit, and they won it. And I'm glad there was. That's the way it should go. To me, it's exactly the way that it should be. So it's not apples to apples. But the pain of losing your team, even for a couple years, no doubt was real. There's no doubt that was felt by the folks in Cleveland. What they're really feeling is the Browns suck, and they've sucked for their entire history. And that's the real issue here. If the Browns were the Ravens and the Ravens were the Browns, they wouldn't give a rat's ass that the Ravens are celebrating the 30th anniversary. They'd laugh about it. They'd say, "Oh, how cute! The little brother is trying to have a fun day."
If the Browns had moved to Carolina, right, and like the Panthers were doing this, yeah.
Right, what they're pissed about is the Browns suck. And it's a reminder that the franchise that used to be in Cleveland became one of the best organizations in all of sports. And it's being thrown in their face. And that's what they're pissed about. There's something close to tacky. He's not wrong, right? Like, in that part, he's not wrong. It doesn't mean the Ravens shouldn't do it. To the point, and he knows it, this was the first home game that was scheduled, and so this is when it makes sense to do it. It's also the better time of year than trying to do it when it gets cold outside and when the team might stink. If the team's no good in December because the quarterback gets hurt or something like that. You don't want to be doing the big pomp and circumstance celebration. That's why you do these things earlier on in the year. That's why teams do their Ring of Honors and their Hall of Fame celebrations early in number retirements early in the year because there's still great hope because you're not going to have the danger of a half-empty stadium on a cold day. So he's smart enough to figure it out, but yet still wants to try to take a shot just because he's a loudmouth on the radio. They're not clowns. It makes complete sense they're doing it. But his point about tacky is close to a point. If he had just left it there, he said, look, I understand, I get it, but it's kind of tacky. It's kind of unfair to us that you're reminding of us about the pain that we felt when the team was ripped away. He would have a point. There would be a point there. It wouldn't mean to me that the Ravens need to reschedule the celebration, but there would be a point. Like, I get it. It's a tough day. And remind me what the next couple of home games are. It's the Lions is the Monday night.
Lions Monday night,
right?
And then Texans on the 5th of October.
So that would be the because you wouldn't do it on a Monday night, right? Like
the Texans game would have. Yeah.
The Texans game. Now you're into October.
Apparently, they do have the ability to flex that though if they wanted. So
what
they can start flexing games in week 5 now.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So it's got one of those.
So this is kind of what it was going to have to be.
Yeah.
And that's where, again, if you had just said tacky or stated, you would have a point. When you say the Ravens are clowns, then you're the clown. You're literally performing. You're being performative for the sake of trying to get attention. Which is a shame, because for a second, the guy had something to say. But he lost the plot because, again, being relevant and just saying things that are truthful doesn't get you attention on the internet, so you have to say things like, well, the Ravens are clowns. No. They wanted to do a celebration. I get why you don't love that this is the team. In Cleveland, they try to use it as motivation, right? You should try. Now, it's going to be hard-pressed to get into the players in Cleveland to give a rat's ass about something that happened 30 years ago when I think only Joe Flacco was alive. I don't know who else on that roster would even remember the Browns moving, but, try to use it. Try to do the rah-rah thing this week.
Probably is a good bit. Be like, did you know the Browns moved to Baltimore?
Right. What? Huh? But we're the Browns. What do you mean they moved? We are the Browns.
It's a shame. This would have been a good topic for Drew.
I guess it would have been. All right. I got to go. Tidbit. Tidbit is brought to you today by, it's brought to you by County Sports Zone, countysports.zone, where you find everything when it comes to high school sports in the state of Maryland, scores, schedules, everything you need to know, every team, every sport, all throughout the state, countysports.zone.
Melissa Thomas recorded another triple-double last night.
She's very good.
8th of the 2025 season, 23rd of her career. So she owns 40% of the league's triple-doubles. There have been 57
Didn't we do a triple-double thing earlier this year?
We did. I'm just pointing out more numbers now.
Okay.
I wasn't going to really ask a question. I mean, do you want to try to name all the all right, so 40% of the league's triple, like the history of the league, 57. There have been. She has 23 of those 57.
That's remarkable.
8 this season, so she has more than everyone else combined in 2025 alone. There have only been 7 other triple-doubles, so 7 other players have a triple-double. Or actually 6. One player has 2. So 6 other players have recorded a triple-double, and Alyssa Thomas has more than all of them combined this season. So congrats to Alyssa Thomas.
Apparently, Angel Reese took like Chicago out of her bio on some social, and so it won't mean anything to me. Sorry, dog. I just don't care about Washington teams.
I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know. How bad were they this year?
I mean, they were very bad. They were very bad.
Well, the Wings were the worst. But yeah, Wings are going to get the first pick again. Yes, as you mentioned, Kyle Schwarber hit his 50th home run yesterday. He becomes just the second player to have 50 home runs, have a 50 home run season and a 4 home run game in their career period. So he did them both this season. But players with 4 home run games and also a 50 homer season.
We just did the 4 home run game thing recently. Did Josh Hamilton have a 50 home run season?
He did not.
Who else had a 50 home run? I don't think Mike Cameron ever had a 50 home run season.
I don't think so.
I mean, you say that, but in that era, there were a lot of people that were hitting 50 home runs, dog. Remember what Who else had a 4 home run? J.D. Martinez have a 50 home run?
No, he did not. Wasn't Scooter Jeanette either. I'll spoil that one for you.
Willie Mays?
Yes, Willie Mays.
Okay,
There you go.
all
There you
right.
go. Those are the
All
two.
right.
50 homer season and a
I couldn't remember if
4
Willie
home run
Mays had a
game.
4 home run game or not, but I feel like I learned that when we did this exercise before because
You're retaining
Stan
information.
Stan guessed and you said no, we were only looking for the people after 2000, but Stan had known that I think Willie Mays and Mike Schmidt I think were the two that Stan named.
That would make sense. The most homers, Mike Cameron had 130 homer season.
All right, well, good for him.
30 and 04.
Good for him. Dude, you go back and look at that era. There's some random. I mean, Brady Anderson hit 50 home runs, dog. Like there are some random ass 50 home runs.
You look at that guy and you say, yeah, that's a 50 home run hitter.
Yeah. You're gonna go back and you're gonna be like, that guy hit 50 home runs. It was a different time, man. Different time. Hey, you know what? I didn't get it from trivia on Monday night. What city do the NWSL Thorns play in?
Oh shoot. Portland.
That's correct. The Rose City. And the guy was like, nobody's gonna get this, and then like actually half the bar got it. Like I felt so.
I mean, you
when
could
he,
probably.
when
That
he,
might
when
be
he,
one of the few. I don't think I'm getting many.
How many NWSL teams could you name?
Probably none. Is there?
Well, you could
Rapids,
name Washington.
What is
really?
What is Washington?
You don't know Washington?
I don't know why I know the Thorns. I don't know why.
This is really, but you don't know the Washington team. It's Trinity Rodman.
I don't know.
The Spirit.
Oh,
Spirit.
Maybe say the team name, and maybe I do better.
Name where they are in the city. Okay.
Maybe just 'cause that's a little helpful. I don't know.
The Courage. All right, let's move on.
Atlanta.
North Carolina. The Pride.
Also Atlanta.
All right. Here's what's coming up totally.
Is there an Atlanta team?
There is not an Atlanta team.
You should have told me that. I just keep guessing Atlanta.
The Current.
They
have some famous owners.
Are they Denver?
No. Kansas City. Pretty sure the Mahomes are involved in the ownership group of the Kansas City Current. All right, here's what's coming up tubular-wise.
One more. I gotta get one.
Jeez. Some of these, the problem is like the name of the city is the name of the team.
Good thing I should have just
the Royals.
left it at Thorns.
The Royals. And it's not Kansas City because we just learned they're the Currents.
Cincinnati.
Utah.
What?
Utah.
Why?
All right, come on, we got to go. It's Paul Skeens, Tyler Wilson. Tubular is brought to you by the Stan the Fan Variety Hour. If you missed Stan, Ross, and Luke, find it right now, Facebook.com/PressBox Sports. As always, Stan's show is brought to you by the Costa Sim.
And you're getting all these? You would have gotten all of them?
I think I would have gone, I think if there are 15, 16 teams, something like that, I would go 12 for, I mean, again, some of them are in the name, like Bay FC. It's in the name.
San Jose.
Yeah, correct. It's close enough. Gotham FC, I believe.
New York.
Yeah, like some of them you're going to get because of that. But I'm trying to think of the other names of the teams. You know what? Maybe I would struggle more than I thought I was going to. Maybe I would. Portland Thorns, Utah Royals, Washington Spirit, North Carolina Courage, we said, Orlando Pride. God, what are the other teams?
There's
Stars. Chicago, right?
Yeah,
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago. How about the Wave?
Oh, that's San Diego. I have a friend who has season tickets.
Dash. Friend with season tickets to the San Diego Wave.
Houston?
Yes.
Okay.
Houston Dash.
Cool.
You're looking at it.
I'm not. I'm looking at Tubular.
The Rain.
Is that Seattle?
That is Seattle.
Okay.
Spelled
I
R-E-I-G.
did pretty well with this. And then
Racing.
Yeah, Louisville. Yeah. Because they built the soccer stadium down there. Is that the whole list?
I don't like this segment anymore. Angel City.
Well, I also do Tubular, and I do see these things in Tubular for what it's worth.
Angel
That probably
City, that one's easy.
That's Los Angeles, yes. All right, Paul Skeens, Tyler Wells tonight, 6:35 on Masson as Pirates and Orioles play game 2 of a 3-game set. That's really all that matters sports-wise. Everything else is just baseball tonight. AEW Dynamite at 8 at TBS. Anything non-sports-wise that matters?
There's a Charlie Sheen documentary.
On Netflix. Yeah, that he's involved with. And apparently he had sex with men. That's something that you're going to learn. The internet is buzzing about that.
Hey,
good for him, man.
Yeah.
Whatever. He's got tiger blood.
The girlfriend on Prime Video looks like it could be good. There's what was it? So it's there's a boy and the girl's fighting over his mom and the girlfriend are fighting over him basically.
Sure they were.
Yeah, I guess that's really it. Jennifer Aniston and Cooper Hoffman on Stephen Colbert.
Oh, that's Philip. He's promoting that terrible movie that he did that everybody loved.
What, licorice pizza?
Yeah, God.
I didn't see it.
It just
people
all
do
built
say
up to
it's
statute.
good.
Again, like so many movies, it just all built up to statutory rape. Like you just
So
kept
many
thinking to
movies.
yourself,
There's
like,
multiple movies that do that?
yeah, they're really good at that.
He is in The Walk, which does look good.
Oh, it does look good. You're right.
Yeah,
That does look really good. No doubt.
All right, yeah.
All right, very good. Thanks today to Drew, I guess. Thanks also to Chris Broussard, to Ed Hottle, and to Jon Miller, who you're about to hear from. We'll get it all up in the greatest hits section of the
Aspiration
tab at GlennClarkRadio.com. Tomorrow, you said we were doing something tomorrow.
We're going to continue our 30th anniversary.
All right,
so.
Wally Williams will join us as we speak to the members of the inaugural Baltimore Ravens team and stuff and things. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners, including Game Day Men's Health, County Sports Zone, your local Toyota dealer, buyatoyota.com, Costas Inn, Live Casino and Hotel Maryland, the Maryland 5-Star, as well as Nick's Fish House, and also, I think that's the list. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great Wednesday evening. Go Birds. Duke sucks. We wrap up today's show. I had to do this a little bit earlier on. The great Jon Miller, who was back in town this weekend. Well, this past weekend, of course, the Orioles celebrated the 30th anniversary of 21-31. It was great to be there. What an electric night it was from start to finish. And part of that was seeing this guy back in a bit of a more formal capacity with the Orioles for the first time. He, of course, is a Ford Frick Award winner and part of both the Baseball and National Radio Halls of Fame. He is the great Jon Miller, and he is back with us now here on GCR. John, it's Glenn in Baltimore. It's great to chat with you as always. Thank you for taking the time for us.
Absolutely, and what a memorable night it was. I was very honored and pleased to have been invited to the event in the first place. They told me that part of the deal was they gave Cal a suite and said, and give us a list of the people you want to invite. So, I was on that list. So I was very grateful to Cal, and it was really cool being able to catch up with Cal, and then to share that amazing ninth inning comeback. I hear how the crowd was just rocking the ballpark, and the crowd was responding the way you would expect a crowd to respond for a team with a chance to go to the postseason. That this was a key game in their bid to win a division title and whatnot. So, which is just not the case. So I really salute the Oriole fans, and I think maybe part of the inspiration for that whole thing that brought the big crowd there in the first place, but also with all those great former Orioles and Ken Griffey Jr. and all that whole list of people that came out on the field and got big ovations. I heard my first Eddie chant for almost 30 years, so that was kind of cool. But then that seemed to inspire that, because the place was just rocking. I made a video when Yamamoto just needed one more out for the no-hitter. I thought, I should start my video camera. I'm in a good spot here up in this suite, and sitting right behind Ken Griffey Jr. and his wife, and I'll maybe have the video of either breaking up the no-hitter or the final out of the no-hitter, and then I got it going just in time to capture the home run hit by Jackson Holliday, and then the crowd was just so raucous and loud that I kept making videos with each batter subsequently, cool. And I've been sending that video of the game-winning hit to everybody that I know, because the place was just rocking. It's still exciting for me just to look back at the video of it. So,
John, I think what you
and I don't think there's ever been a game like that before.
Yeah, I think what you allude to is we all know that a no-hitter is historic, right? Because we've used the word no-hitter a lot in our lives. But I think what ended up happening, and trust me, I was like many. Once Jackson Holliday hit the home run, I looked at my kids and my wife. I said, all right, we can go. We're not going to see history tonight. The Orioles are going to lose. And thank God we didn't. Thank God we stuck around to watch. But I think it speaks to just the joy of baseball, that legitimately you go to a game, you don't know what you're going to witness. And my kids are 10 and 8, and this is a core memory now for them, witnessing that on Saturday night. They'll talk about being at that game for years, despite the fact that the Orioles aren't going to win a World Series this year.
Yeah, that's very true, and I think it is one of those nights. But I was trying to figure out just 2 down, nobody on.
Yeah.
and then he hits the home run. And sometimes players will tell you, managers, pitchers, that because that ball almost stayed in the ballpark. It was, and for a moment it looked like it did stay in the ballpark. The right fielder played the carom and threw it back in, but the umpire was signaling home run. But sometimes it's better if it had been a double, because now you've got a possible rally started. Yeah, so that a solo homer, ironically, can be a rally killer. And so now you still have 2 down and nobody on as they go to their veteran shutdown reliever, Blake Trinan. But then the next guy hits the double, and then Trinan didn't seem to be able to throw a strike after that. It was pretty uncanny. And then they finally went to the left-hander, and I didn't quite understand what was going on there, because he had the left-hander ready in the bullpen, and the left-hander, I guess it was Cowser was up, and he didn't bring in the left-hander for Cowser, the left-handed hitter, and he walked, and that forced in a run. It also moved the possible winning run into scoring position, and now with a right-handed hitter coming up, now he brought in the left-hander. And, of course, Emmanuel Rivera, probably the greatest hit of his career in that instance. So what a game, and what a finish. But I don't believe that there's ever been a game, 2 outs of a no-hitter, nobody on base, and a 3-run lead. There have been a couple times a team has come from behind, but I think it's like 1 run down in that spot, but not 3 runs with 2 down and nobody on. Are you kidding me? So it might have been one of a kind in that regard.
Jon Miller is with us here on GCR. Jon, you have done just about everything there is to do in this game. You have called many World Series. You have, called Barry Bonds breaking home run records. I feel like there are still young people that don't understand what an American phenomenon 21-31 was, how it went beyond baseball, beyond Baltimore. It seemed to touch everyone, maybe even globally. Can you put into words what that night has meant to you in your career, and why it still resonates the way it does with so many of us to this point in our lives?
I think Chris Berman and I were talking about this. They introduced Berman, they introduced me, and we were out on that orange carpet while they were introducing everybody else. And I noticed as I got out there that they had the banners up there on the warehouse, the 21-31, which was, wow, that brings me back to that night. But then Boomer said, and the thing is that night, until the game became an official game, it was 21-30 that read up on that warehouse. And that's an iconic number that we of that era grew up with. There were certain numbers that when you were a baseball fan since you were a kid, that those were icons, and you knew those numbers. And 21-30 was sort of at the top of that list. Lou Gehrig's record that was probably never going to be broken, consecutive games played. And 714, the Babe's home run total, which, and we had already seen Henry Aaron pass on by that number, and 60 home runs in a season, and Maris passed that number by. But we knew all those numbers. The Ted Williams hit 406, the last 400 hitter in history, and so on and so forth. The iconic numbers. But I think since that time, kids grow up in a different way now. And, there have been so many guys who've hit a lot of home runs, and way more than 60. It's been kind of hard to keep up with. In fact, I asked Brady Anderson Saturday night, because at that time, Brady could recite the whole list of the top home run hitters in history. He knew them all. But I said to Brady, I said, what about do you still know that? He said, no, those numbers have been passed now a few times, and I really don't know any of them now. So, and part of that has to do with the kind of things that you retain as a kid, because you don't have all that. Your mind is not so cluttered with all that stuff when you're 12 years old or 10 years old. So we got a little more stuff jangling around in our heads by this time at this age. But anyway, so I think that's just a fact of the matter, and it goes beyond the greats of the game like Cal. And I think anybody knows who Cal was and that he was an Orioles great. But as my friend Hank Field told me, who used to keep the out-of-town scoreboard for us in the radio booth at Memorial Stadium and then at Camden Yards. He said sometimes he'll meet with young people because he used to perform marriages. Hank was a former priest, and he would tell the kids that he used to be a priest and this and that. And he also used to keep the scoreboard in the booth for Jon Miller. And the kids are like, who? So I haven't been there in a long, long time, and I understand that, and so I think that's just the way it is. But the passage of time, and I really salute the Orioles for having the special night for Cal and the fans for all turning out, because I think it's important to keep that memory out there, and even for the newer generation of people who weren't around when that all took place.
John, as much as Saturday night was about Cal, and it was, for a lot of us, it was really special to see you in videos made by the Orioles and on the field. And we all remember that, unfortunately, that's not something that's happened a lot in recent years. While I know you've done games and you've been around, we haven't seen that formal relationship between you and the team. Did that mean anything to you beyond, I know you wanted to be there for Cal, but did that resonate with you, that it was maybe a way to perhaps reconnect with Baltimore, the Orioles, the fans, all of those things?
Well, it really did. I mean, for me personally, it was just I really wanted to be there because that was such a huge baseball record that I really wanted to be there, not just to celebrate with Cal, but because it was such a highlight to have been there that night in the first place. And but then the crowd was so into it. I really, if I had it to do over again, they gave me that little moment at the mic, and my job was just to introduce Cal. But when Eddie Murray got introduced and the crowd started chanting, Eddie, Eddie, just like the old days. It was like, wow, we're going back 30 years now. And that was so cool. I really thought that I would like to have asked the fans, like, how many of those of you here tonight were here 30 years ago?
Sure.
Because almost everybody was also there 30 years ago? Because a lot of things can happen in 30 years. I mean, a lot of people aren't even around any longer, or maybe not even able to come with the aging process and to make it to the ballpark one way or the other. So I kind of wish, I thought that was a moment that I let slip by. But at the same time, I did have the story about the '83 World Series, my first year, and the Orioles, with the Orioles, and Mike Schmidt, the Jazz, or the Orioles just shut him down, 1 for 20 in that series. And in Philadelphia, they started booing him because he'd come up in a big spot and strike out or pop out or whatever, and they'd boo him. That's just Philadelphia. And he said after one of those games, says, well, that's just Philadelphia. But I know in Baltimore, if Eddie Murray was 1 for 20, the next time he came to the plate, they'd introduce him, and the fans would start chanting, Eddie, Eddie. And so it was too good. It was too much right there, a groove fastball down the middle for me to take, I guess, that here it was 30 years later, and they're still chanting Eddie, just like it was all those years ago. And I saluted them for that, and I just wanted to sort of weigh in on that. So it was just great for me personally to hear Eddie Murray get such a great greeting. And everybody who got introduced got a big ovation for the fans. So it seemed like they just remembered all those former Oriole greats. And Ken Griffey Jr. never played for the Orioles, and they gave him a huge ovation as well.
Just wanted to be there, which is awesome. But what about for you, though, John? Like, I know you're not one to make it about yourself, but to hear the crowd react the way that it did for you here, I mean, we're talking about decades later at this point, since you've been in San Francisco. How did that resonate with you, and what did that mean to you?
Well, I know that it was the last thing on my mind because I had just gotten into town. I did the game Friday night in St. Louis with the Giants, and I was also going to be taking a 7 a.m. flight Sunday morning back to St. Louis, and do the 1 o'clock game on the radio that day. So I was in the middle of a pretty intense flight schedule there, and just trying to keep up with it. And as soon as I got to the hotel, I went to the room and changed clothes, and then we all went over to the ballpark. And it was really cool seeing all those guys. They had a green room set up where we could all gather before the game and to see Cal and have a chance to talk with all these different people that I hadn't seen in a while. And now we're just trying to get it straight. They're telling us how it's going to be orchestrated. The rain came through. The original plan for the chairs we were all supposed to go out and sit in and whatnot, that was gone with the rain and the new thing. So I was just trying to keep that straight, and it really was the last thing on my mind, because also the story about people saying that they knew me back in the day, and people saying, who? And I think that's very true. And I think that the Orioles broadcasts are outstanding. I think Kevin Brown and Ben McDonald and Jim Paul, that's a great crew, one of the best in the game. And, Brett Hollander, Jeff Arnold on the radio, I've gotten to know them a little bit, and I think they do an excellent job as well. So I think the Orioles are in great shape, and I'm just something from way back in the day. But when I got introduced, I went out and the first thing I saw was the 21-31 on the because we hadn't been inside the ballpark yet that night. That's the first look I had in it, and then I realized, wow, they're giving me a pretty nice ovation here. So I wanted to acknowledge that and tip my cap and whatnot. And it was very heartwarming for me, and I thank everybody for the gesture, and I'll never forget it.
I'll ask if there were to be more, right? If there was maybe to be a celebration of Jon Miller. I've said publicly I would like to see you go into the Orioles Hall of Fame, Jon, because you are the voice of my childhood and the memories that I associate with the team. Is that something that like you'd be up to do maybe more things with the Orioles, knowing you have a job, you're still working, you have a team that you are associated with, but are those things that you would be willing to consider if they were to be in front of you in the coming years?
Well, I mean, anything like that it's always a great honor, and I got that the Frick Award, the award that they give to a broadcaster at the Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, and I think I would join everyone who's ever been given that honor as saying that's one of the great awards you could ever get as a baseball broadcaster, and everybody calls you a Hall of Famer after the fact, and the first thing I always like Willie Mays called me after I got that award. And I just right away told Willie, said, "No, Willie, this is a thrill that you're calling me, but I do want to make sure that you understand that I know this does not put me in the Hall of Fame. You're a Hall of Fame. You're what the Hall of Fame is all about, and I know that this is just a cool award, and I'm grateful to get it." But and Willie said, "Well, I really appreciate you saying that. On the other hand, from now on, everybody's going to call you a Hall of Famer. You better just get used to it." So I always thought I always kind of tell that story because coming from Willie Mays, I was like, "All right, I understand. I will." Yeah, so,
correct, right? If you say so, 100%.
Yeah. But I think truly, I felt like it was a great honor, but I also felt sort of sheepish about it because I thought, man, just being able to do this job for a living that I really aspired to when I was a kid, I looked at it as the greatest job that anybody could ever get, and to have been able to get the job in the first place and then to have been able to do it all these years. My first big league broadcast was over 51 years ago, and I was 22 years old. I was like a little kid. And how the hell did that happen? But that's its own reward and award. And now to get honored beyond that, it just felt like hard to say that, oh, yes, I really deserve that, because I feel like every day I get to go to the ballpark and get paid to do the job that I always want to do. That's already an incredible award. So I've been getting an award on a daily basis for all these years as it is. So if if the Orioles said something along those lines, obviously that would be a great honor. And at the same time, I've gotten a lot of different awards over the years, and have always been very grateful about it. But at the same time, you sometimes you wonder, man, it's like they keep giving me these awards, and when's the other shoe going to drop? Is it? am I bound? Is the universe about to turn its back on me and turn upside down on me, or what? So, but anyway, I think the Orioles, to see all those guys, you realize what a great history. I always remember Mel Allen back sometime in the 80s, and the Yankees had brought him back to do some of their games on the MSG network at that time. And we were sitting and talking about the old days. The Orioles were still playing at Memorial Stadium. And so I'm asking him about that Yankee dynasty that he was so much a part of, because he did the Yankee games going back into the 1939. He was there when Lou Gehrig gave his luckiest man on the face of the earth speech. And, he went through all those incredible Yankee teams. He says, well, that's long gone now, but the team that's most like that now is this one, the Orioles. And at that time, the Orioles had the longest stretch of winning seasons of any team in history other than those Yankees. So that's the franchise and the history that I walked into in 1983. So it is a special franchise, an historic franchise. And when you see that comeback the other night, you also realize, man, they're building something here right now. I know it's been a bad year this year, but I think they've got so much talent already here and still to come that this could be the start of something big 4 years to come for the Orioles.
John, there were a lot of mistakes made by this organization for a long period of time, and I'm saying this, you don't have to say it. Not having Jon Miller here in Baltimore was one of them, and I know we lost Davey Johnson this weekend, and not having Davey Johnson around longer was one of them. And so I think for a lot of us, just seeing you here and associated with the Orioles provides maybe a little bit of hope that perhaps this franchise will not make as many mistakes moving forward and will right things and do things the right way and honor the people that deserve to be honored. And that's me editorializing. I know that's not a question. I'm not putting it to you, but I hope that that it really did mean a lot to a lot of us, certainly of a certain age, that you were back because you never should have been gone in the first place.
Well, I appreciate the sentiment, and I will say, for the sake of transparency, that although I had always aspired as a baseball broadcaster to be in a place for a long period of time, like Chuck Thompson had been, or Ernie Harwell in Detroit, or Jack Buck in St. Louis, Harry Carey in St. Louis, and then Chicago, and there were a lot of them that Vin Scully with the Dodgers, and that's what I aspired to, and I thought finally maybe Baltimore was going to be my place. I was there 14 seasons. And so I was not happy about sort of being shown the door, but at the same time,
it worked out okay for
I look
you.
back. I look back now, and it's my last year in Baltimore was 29 years ago, and I've been with the Giants through a renaissance of Giants baseball, the team I grew up with, and their new ballpark, which has changed everything out here, and I'm grateful that I was too dumb to realize that was going to be the best thing that could have possibly happened to me was coming out here. So because I didn't want it to work out that way, but I'm grateful that it did. Even going back, I came to Baltimore hoping to have stayed in Boston, and the station was going broke and defaulted on the rights payments to the Red Sox, and so they were going to change stations, and so that was what opened the door for me to go to Baltimore. I got this offer to go to Baltimore, and I thought, man, I really wanted to stay in Boston and keep going to Fenway Park, and that's what I was aspiring to there. And the greatest possible thing that could have happened to me at that time was going to Baltimore, and I was too dumb to know that until I actually did it and saw how great that worked out. So anyway, so I've been kind of dumb luck, I guess, is a way to put it for me over the years. And for me, the Giants have. It's not only been home, and then I was going to the ballpark, and there's Willie Mays, there's Willie McCovey, all these guys are the icons of my youth. Yep. And the Giants have been great to me, and it's exciting to see for me what they're doing right now, trying to come out of nowhere, just like the Orioles in the ninth inning on Saturday night, to see if they can actually somehow overtake the Mets and at huge, unlikely odds, make it into the postseason this year. So anyway, that's and that's the part that the fun. I did the ESPN national game for 21 years with Joe Morgan. A lot of great memories. It was a great opportunity. And who has a run like that in primetime national TV 21 years in a row? So I was very fortunate in that regard. But I always kept the local job because that's the real fun for a broadcaster, is watching that local story unfold day after day, the ups and the downs of it. And I've been able to do it all this time. So anyway, I'd like to be able to say, see you in October. At this point, is the Giants are the team that has that. Yeah. It's not a good chance, but they're still alive and with that opportunity.
Jon, we hope that we'll be seeing more of you at some point in some way for some reason in Baltimore. That's what we're going to hope for. And it was a thrill to see you on Saturday. Truly appreciate you taking the time for us today. Thank you so much for doing this.
Well, and I appreciate you saying that, and it truly was a thrill for me and to the people who gave me such a warm welcome that night. I'm forever grateful and will never forget it.